Hello, this is Garry Creath.
And I'm Creath Scott, and we're with Creath Scott Homes here in Austin, Texas. We're here today to answer the question, does it matter which real estate agent or real estate professional I hire? Aren't you guys all the same?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And in fact, that's a really good question because sometimes people just kind of choose the real estate agent that they hire like this. And then nothing could be more dangerous when you're investing the most amount of money into your largest investment that you'll ever make. And so here's the answer, Chris. No, not all real estate agents are the same. You need to look for somebody who has different qualities that are important to you. Number one, you've got to make sure that you fully trust the real estate agent that you're going to hire because you're putting your money and your life in their hands to go and negotiate for the home for you. That's critical.
That's an important, I know according to the National Association of Realtors, that's the number one thing when home buyers and home sellers, the number one factor that they have told, us through surveys is that they have to trust that person. So trust is a really big deal.
Trust is a very big deal. And so how does a real estate professional earn the trust of you, a buyer? Well, there's several different ways. Number one, we must display our market knowledge. This does not mean that you have to hire a realtor who's been in the business 15 to 20 years. That is not what I'm saying. You can hire a brand new real estate agent as long as they have vast market knowledge. And how can you tell about that?
Well, I guess you could ask them questions about the market, right?
Absolutely. You ask questions about the market. You ask questions specifically about what kind of home that you're interested in buying. And you need to ask them, do they know of any homes that might suit your needs? Next, ask them this question. As soon as you walk into a home, the very first home that you tour with them, ask them this. So, Chris, what do you think this home is actually worth? Because a very skilled and knowledgeable real estate professional will not need to look anywhere other than up here to tell you what that home is worth.
Right. If they have that market knowledge, just walking into the home, they're already going to know immediately what that home should sell for, what the accurate price for that home is.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So that's really critical. Next, you've got to make sure that you hire somebody who has really highly refined negotiation skills. And this is really critical because when they're negotiating on your behalf with the other real estate agent, you've got to make sure that they have your best interests at heart and that they'll be able to get you what you want.
No, I think, when you mentioned being highly skilled as a negotiator, that doesn't mean being a tough negotiator. It's rather being skilled at understanding what are all the concerns of all the parties involved and making sure they work to address those concerns. When it comes to hiring somebody, you want to have that trust, but that's both in trusting them as an individual, but trusting their competence. And I think that's one of the things, to your point, Garry, that sometimes you have to know what questions to ask to be able to reveal the level of competence that they're going to have.
Yeah. So competence is critical, but that doesn't mean that we can ignore character. So that's another thing that you need to judge when you're hiring your real estate professional is, do you trust their character? Do you trust who they actually are? That is really critical as well.
Well, you want to make sure that they have your interests at heart, right? And so, typically a competent individual will have their client's interests at heart, but as a person, you want to make sure that if something goes wrong, right? If something takes place, that you won't be compromised.
Absolutely. So these are just some tips that we can offer you when you are reaching out and hiring a real estate professional to represent you. If you have any additional questions or are interested in talking to us, Chris, what do they need to do?
Just send us a message.